ਸਿਟੀ ਆਫ ਬਰੈਂਪਟਨ ਸਿਟੀ ਕੌਂਸਲ ਦੀ ਤਰਫ ਤੋਂ RRL ਰੈਜ਼ੀਡੈਂਸ਼ੀਅਲ ਰੈਂਟਲ ਲਾਇਸੈਂਸ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮ ਚਲਾਇਆ ਗਿਆ। ਉਹਦੇ ਬਾਅਦ ਕੁਝ ਰੈਜ਼ੀਡੈਂਟਸ ਨੇ ਮਿਲ ਕੇ ਪੈਟੀਸ਼ਨ ਵੀ ਚਲਾਈ। 6000 ਤੋਂ ਵੱਧ ਸਿਗਨੇਚਰਸ ਹੋ ਚੁੱਕੇ ਹੈ। ਜੋ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਆਏ ਸੀਗੇ ਕਾਉਂਸਲਰਸ ਡੈਨਿਸ ਕੇਨਨ ਐਂਡ ਰੋਵੀਨਾ ਸੈਂਟੋਸ ਆ, ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਆਈਡੀਆ ਸੀ ਉਹਦੇ ਬਾਅਦ ਸਿਟੀ 'ਚ ਜਿਸ ਹਿਸਾਬ ਨਾਲ ਵਾਰਡਸ 'ਚ ਵਾਰਡ 1, 3, 4, 5, 7 ਇਸ ਵਾਰਡ 'ਚ ਪਾਇਲਟ ਪ੍ਰੋਜੈਕਟ ਚਲਾਇਆ ਗਿਆ। ਕੀ ਲੋੜ ਸੀ RRL ਦੀ? ਸਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ ਡੈਨਿਸ ਕੇਨਨ ਰੀਜਨਲ ਕਾਉਂਸਲਰ ਵਾਰਡ 3 ਐਂਡ 4 ਦੇ ਮੌਜੂਦ ਹੈ। Dennis, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thanks for having me on.
RRL. Many people now they are putting a petition. 6,000 plus signatures are already there. So at first place, what was the need of having RRL?
Yeah. So when we talk about the petition that's coming forward now that it's launched, we got to look at the petitions that came before, which had many signatures as well.
Okay.
So this all came from knocking on the doors. And for me personally, I ran on a platform because I seen the issues we were having in the community with the property standards and rental properties. A lot of too many people inside the homes, very unsafe, very unhealthy, and that's where this came from. This is about safety and about holding landlords accountable to the property, to the community, and about the safety of the people living inside. When we look and hear instances of international students, 17, 18 people living in one area of a home, that's unsafe. And I couldn't imagine as a father sending my child to another country for a better education, a better life. And that's the standards they're living in. We have a responsibility as a municipal government to care for all of our residents, especially the international students that are coming here to better themselves and better the city we live in. So the need has always been there. I think it's been there for a long time. And that's why this program I'm pushing hard for it. My community needs it. We've seen all the complaints come through. The pilot project was chosen in those areas because those are the areas with the most complaints for these types of properties. And we can't get away. We have amazing landlords in the city of Brampton. And we got some bad apples. We got some slumlords that want to use the city of Brampton as an ATM machine and not care about the community that those homes are in or the people that live inside those homes. And enough's enough.
Dennis, the petition, did you read the concerns they have? Because when we talk to them or when we read those concerns, we find that they are also genuine. So being a city council, why don't we address those concerns, what the petition people are asking?
100%. And they have valid concerns. For the likes of maybe a little bit of oversight in launching the program for where it was the people with already registered units and how difficult it is for them to apply. So we're already addressing those issues. Drawings, electrical, things that are being duplicated and done before, we're looking to get those taken out. It's currently in the process. The police check, that's already been removed. So there is things, we want to make this as easy, as simple for the residents and for the landlords as possible. But we also want to make sure that, it's affordable. So the first 3 months, which we will extend because we've had some concerns, and that's why it's a pilot project. We got to figure out what those concerns are, how to make things easy, how we can streamline it. That's why it's not citywide, or that's why we're focused on an area.
On this also, many people say that the wards where we have the South Asian or a Punjabi councillors, they don't have this pilot project. Even Ward 2 and 6, there are many illegal basements. Many people, they live in one house, 17 people in one house, in Ward 2 and 6 also. So why you excluded that? And is people's concern is genuine that Punjabi councillors, whichever ward they have, they thought it will be a backlash and they opt out from this?
No, so that's not how. That's not how it was chosen. It was chosen based on the complaint base, and it's also if you notice, it's the areas which the post-secondary schools are. Which have a lot of international students in them. So this has nothing to do with councillors and the ethnical background of our councillors. We are a united council that work together, and everybody has their own input. And they're still those councillors are still fielding very many calls. We're in conversations daily about how we can make this better for everyone, not just the tenants, but also the landlords. So we're focusing on this. Everyone's being heard. We're listening to everyone and everyone's concerns, but this program is a priority. This program is something I ran on, and it's something that I will stick by the entire time. Do we need to help adjust it so that it works for everyone? Absolutely. But I can be honest with you, the program's not going anywhere. We just need to make sure that it works for everybody.
Dennis, this is a very good initiative what city is doing, because we need public safety first. We need the safety concern. We don't want to see overflowing of garbages. We don't want to see that 17, 20 people living in one single house. So the petition, when people they put it, when we talk to them, there are concerns that no need for this project because we already have the bylaws, we already have the bylaw officer. If we cannot serve whole of the Brampton, hire more bylaw officers. Implement your bylaws there instead of having these program. Because already if landlord has a legal basement, then again he has to get a license to for his basement. What is the need? Why don't we inspect, hire more bylaw, and implement the bylaws we have?
Yeah, so this is a program based on putting everything together and localizing resources to make sure that we can accomplish what we need. This is about putting more tools in the city's toolbox to be able to address issues that we're having. So this is about when we look at it and we looked at things that weren't happening or we didn't have the ability to do, that our policies and legal teams are finding the ability to be able to do these through the program. I like it because it holds us accountable too as a municipality to make sure that we're dealing with these as in a whole. And again, it's about safety. When you go into these homes, and I don't know if you've been in them, I've personally been inside a home and seen just rows of mattresses in a living room. And I couldn't imagine. I couldn't imagine living like that. I couldn't imagine my children living like that. And that's on us. We need to be able to address these issues, and this program will allow us to do that.
Yeah, you're 100% right. We also been to some of the houses, lodging houses. It's a very disturbing scenes what we see there. But again, the question comes, we have the bylaw. We have the bylaw officers. So with this program, RRL, the cost to the city is 1.2 million approximately. And what you'll be getting in return is 500,000 approximately if landlords agree to go with this program.
And so, if landlords, it's not about agreeing. Landlords have to go with this program. We're going to do it. We're going to make sure that we can streamline it and make it easy. But we might get $0. If every landlord signs up in the free period, then we won't get any money. But we know based on what I call slumlords, based on them and us having the ability to find them, we'll make our money back.
So how much is the fees?
The fees, it's a $300 fee that's waived if you sign up in the first 3 months, which will be extended.
So why these petition people say that the fees is not $300, it's $2,000 for all the certification. So what certification do you removed?
So I believe, and I based on what I've been told, is when they were going to do the application process, there was additional information that we had required, being drawings and so forth, and there was fee associated with them, either getting those back if they never had them, calling for an inspection for electrical. And those items, we're in agreement that we don't believe that those are necessary at this time. If I believe if you have a licensed basement and you've gone through the process, kudos to you and thank you for doing that, then it should be still safe. If we receive a complaint and go in and you've made changes, at that point, because you've made changes and we know about it, we're going to be requiring all that information at that time. But if you're a good landlord, if you go by the rules, if you've done everything properly and you get no fines in year 1, year 2 it's going to be free too. If you get no fines in year 2, it's going to be free. So this program for a good landlord won't cost you a dime. It won't cost a penny to anybody. And we got to look out. We know there's a lot of seniors that have rental, and they're having some troubles with how to do the process, and they may not have the ability for technology. We got to look at how can we help them as well. So these are all concerns that we have heard since launching, which is why it's a pilot project. We got to hear what the concerns are, and we got to have time to address them. So myself and Councillor Santos have had multiple meetings with staff, and all of these things are starting to be implemented. We should be coming out with some communication soon to what the changes are or are going to be, and that will be reflected on the website. And we will extend the free period because it's not 100% ready. Oh, it is 100% ready, but it's not 100% the way that it should have been launched at the beginning. But we're trying. Obviously, with launching a new program comes some challenges, and also feedback from the community. We also will be looking to hold a teletown hall to get a broader audience.
When are you planning that?
So we're in talks because we have a lot. We got to do one on bylaw. We got to do. There's a lot coming. So on this particular topic. We have had town halls. I've heard, why is there no community engagement? I personally have had town halls. We haven't heard anything from landlords. I've had packed rooms with town halls in my area for the licensing project. And I had no feedback or anything from any landlords. So only now that it's launched are we hearing from the landlords. So public engagement was done. However, we're happy to hear the landlords. We need the landlords' participation, and we will do everything we can to make sure that we can streamline it so it works for landlords and it works for the tenants. And having said that, I've heard a lot about the landlords for issues that they're having at the board with because there's not only bad landlords, there's also bad tenants, that aren't paying rent, and we know there's an 8-month wait. And I am happy to pick up and be an advocate for landlords at the provincial level to see how those changes can be made as well.
Eviction, landlord tenant board to be fixed, eviction to be done within
and that
1
is
or 2
out of
months.
that is out of our jurisdiction.
So what kind of license?
What
Kind of license city will issue when they apply for RRL? It's
very similar to a business license.
So what is this called? The residential business license?
Rental license.
Okay, residential rental license.
But the best way to look at it, it's like a business. So for me, I'm a business owner in the city of Brampton, and I own a restaurant. If you're coming to eat in my restaurant, you want to know it's safe. If you're coming to eat with me, you want to make sure you can come in, have a good time, be safe, get good food, and leave.
So can city evict tenant out from the home if they don't obey the?
So the city doesn't have the rights to evict tenants. We know that. But we have the rights to come in and make sure that it's safe for fire code and
so
to make sure
city can issue the fines to the landlord?
The city, every fine associated with our program is going to be to the landlord.
To the landlord, and
because it's at the end of the day, the property itself is the landlord's responsibility. So if you're allowing your tenants to make to leave garbage all out in front, if you're allowing your tenants to park cars up on the grass, those are the issues we have.
This is the issue. Like you will issue the because landlord always rent to the 2 people or 3 people, but they are illegally staying 16 people. So landlord will be fined again, even though they will have a legal basement. So here comes the landlord tenant board. They don't do eviction in 1 or 2 years. That's their time.
Right. So there will be if they're at a landlord, if they're at the board. We won't be fining. If they show us we're at the board, these are illegal tenants, there will be no fines on the landlord. Those are the landlords, and I've had landlords come to me saying, "How can you help me? I've only signed a lease for 5 people and 15 people live in there. We're at the board."
So landlord has to go to the board first.
They have to deal with it regularly with the board. But we understand what they're going through, and we're not going to be laying fines because we understand this is a tenant issue and not a landlord issue.
So liability comes to the landlord, that it's their responsibility to report to the board, then inform the city also that they are living here, so you won't find them.
Exactly.
Okay. Yes.
That's exactly it. And like I said, I also want to help landlords that are trying to have proper places for people in the city of Brampton to live. And that could be international students, single moms. I personally grew up in rental homes. I know what it is. I know what it's like to be a landlord. I know what it's like to be a good tenant. We need to keep that model rolling forward. And a lot of this too has to do with education, and it's education to the tenants, and it could be education to landlords. But for instance, we have one numbered company that we know of that has 49 properties in the city of Brampton. And if that's not a business, I don't know what is.
Okay. The petition, when they filed, they said $2,000 yearly charge to the landlord. That's extra. But you said the criminal check of the landlord is taken off, gone. What about the electrical certification?
So electrical, mechanical drawings for legal, already passed legal things are looking to be removed, and they're in the process of dealing with that.
What about the ESA certification?
The what, sorry?
ESA certification.
Electrical certification? If it's already a legal unit, that will also be looking to remove that as well.
So what kind of certification will be required in this then?
So we're waiting for, and this is why we're in the talks now, we're waiting for our policies and legal to get back to us to say what the total package will be. But it's going to be as simple as possible for legal basement apartments. If you have a legal second unit and you've already gone through that process,
you don't need to go again.
We're looking to remove as much as possible to make it extremely easy for landlords to give us the information, let us know that it's insured, and you know that should be the end of it for there. And then and then there'll be no fee if it's quick and if they do it soon enough. And then if they're good and get no charges laid in the next year, it's free again. This program will cost a good landlord $0.
Okay. Dennis, this is a very good motive behind this program. We find that we want safety, we want the city to be one of the best city.
100%.
But these things make cities down, and you brought this program. We really appreciate that. But when there are 6,000 signatures, so why don't both the councillors, you and Ravina, sit with the petitioners, listen their concerns and address those, because they are also residents, 6,000 plus signature from the city, and it's growing. It makes sense what they are saying. So why don't we address those issues also?
We have been. We have sat with them. We sat with the people who started the petition. We listened to their concerns. We took those concerns back to staff. So to say we're not listening is incorrect. We are listening. We are making the appropriate changes to make the program stronger and better. So we are listening. We have sat with some of them. Every councillor is getting emails about it. We're responding. We're phoning residents back who are landlords. I have yet to phone a landlord back that didn't, at the end of the call, agree with what we're doing as a municipality. Once they understand, they would tell me what their issues are, and we're already addressing the issues that 99% of the landlords have. Those issues are being addressed. So we are definitely listening. If there's one thing I can tell you about this council, it's a council that listens to the community.
Okay, so do we have enough bylaw officers to implement our bylaws, which already we have, and with this new RRL laws?
Yes, so there is bylaw officers coming in. There was additional support put through in the budget this year, and we will continue to add to that as necessary. This is a program that we're behind, and whatever resources need to be put behind it to make sure it's successful will be put behind it.
So at this moment, you don't know that how much extra fees will be there for the certification. You said that legal team will be back with the new package?
Yeah, so they'll be coming back with our policies and procedures and everything to be put in place. And once we know what that is, that communication will come out through city communication avenues, and you'll be one of the first to know.
Okay, thank you, Dennis.
Appreciate your time. Thank you.
Thank you. So आज के Councillor Dennis Kennan, Ward 3 and 4 ਦੇ ਰੀਜਨਲ ਕਾਉਂਸਲਰ RRL ਜਿਹੜਾ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮ ਹੈ ਉਹਦਾ ਮੋਟਿਵ ਅੱਛਾ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਸਿਟੀ ਨੂੰ ਅਸੀਂ ਕਲੀਨ ਸੇਫਟੀ ਓਵਰਫਲੋ ਆਫ ਗਾਰਬੇਜ ਰੀਜਨ ਅਪੀਲ ਨੂੰ ਇਹਦੀ ਬਹੁਤ ਮੁਸ਼ਕਲ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਹੈ ਔਰ ਇਹਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਜੋ ਇੱਕ ਘਰ 'ਚ ਅਨਸੇਫਟੀ ਜਿਹਦੇ 'ਚ 14 ਤੋਂ 20 ਬੱਚੇ ਰਹਿੰਦੇ ਹੈ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਤੇ ਵੀ ਨੱਥ ਪਾਣੀ ਬਹੁਤ ਜ਼ਰੂਰੀ ਹੈ ਲੇਕਿਨ ਜਿੱਥੇ ਪੈਟੀਸ਼ਨ ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਨੇ ਲਾਈ ਹੈ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਵੀ ਕੋਈ ਕੰਸਰਨ ਹੈ ਬਹੁਤ ਜੈਨੂਇਨ ਕੰਸਰਨ ਹੈ ਸੋ ਅਸੀਂ ਚਾਹੁੰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਕਿ ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਡੈਨਿਸ ਕਿਨਨ ਨੇ ਕਿਹਾ ਕਿ ਸਾਰੀ ਦੋਨੋਂ ਪਾਰਟੀਆਂ ਨੇ ਬੈਠ ਕੇ ਗੱਲਬਾਤ ਕੀਤੀ ਹੈ ਸੋ ਨਵਾਂ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਪੈਕੇਜ ਆਏਗਾ ਕੀ ਉਹਦੇ 'ਚ ਹੋਏਗਾ ਆਉਣ ਵਾਲੇ ਟਾਈਮ ਤੇ ਦੇਖਾਂਗੇ